ridiculous right now. Let me explain why. Last January, or actually no, 2 months ago in January, got my hair colored. I got some highlights in it, and you guys have been asking me about my highlights, about what I asked for, about how you could get them yourself, and I was going to make a video on them, and I actually got my hair colored last Friday, and I was like, oh, I'll just make the video on what I had before at the same time as my video on my new color, because I thought they were going to be a little bit more similar, but they're not. So I have to explain my previous color and then show you guys my new color, and I'm honestly trying to decide whether I should do that with this hat on or not, because I really do look like ridiculous right now. Okay, I'm just gonna go for it. If you can't stand how I look right now, just open up another window and start scrolling through Pinterest while I talk, okay? You can just listen to me. So, what I had done before was that I wanted some kind of ombre highlights through my hair. I didn't want a perfect ombre because I don't like that gradient of like perfectly brown to like a transition color to like a light color, like all the way perfectly through. I feel like that had its moment, but that's probably a little bit done now. So I wanted ombre highlights, and I actually made the decision the day before I got my hair colored that I wanted to go darker up at my base. So I was in LA, I had Matt Motherhead from the Kimbo Salon at the Montage in Beverly Hills, that's a long name, come over, and he did my hair, and he did a fantastic job. I really, really loved it. He did a semi-permanent color up here to get me a little bit darker, which washed out within like 2 weeks, so I don't know if you guys even really got to see it before it kind of went away. And then he did my highlights down here. And what he did for that was just to balayage it, which means he kind of freehand painted it on, which is definitely something that you have to have somebody that's experienced to do, because that is a tricky technique, let me tell you. So he did that. I have some little footage of that, so I'm probably gonna like flash that around here. But I really, really liked how it looked. You guys liked how it looked. I liked having it lighter. But the thing was that the darker color that I really wanted washed out really, really quickly, and I missed that a lot. So I kind of wanted to do something different after that, which is why I got my hair colored on Friday. Oh my gosh, I just looked in the viewfinder and saw myself again. I look so silly. Anyway, so that is what we did on my hair before, and you guys could ask your stylist for that. I really, really recommend, I'm going to talk about this later, but I really recommend bringing in a picture. So if you find something that you like, you know, get the picture, save it on your phone, print it out, bring it into your stylist. That's going to be the best way. But what I had was kind of like ombre highlights. Or off the scalp highlights. So you could talk to your stylist about creating something like that on you. But that's what I had before, so now I'm going to show you what I have now. And here's my new hair color. So I went brunette. Yeah, I went a lot darker, and I was expecting, it's still like an ombre highlight, like I still have little ombre highlights through the bottom, and I was honestly expecting them to be a little bit lighter. That's kind of what I was going for, but they ended up being a little darker, and I'm kind of happy with it because it's a lot more subtle. Keep asking me in the comments, like, don't you think that the ombre is going out? Why would you get that in your hair? Isn't it like going out of trend and all that kind of stuff? And like, yeah, I think in some ways it is. I think as far as having like a really drastic one, especially if it's like dark, dark brown to black to like platinum blonde at the bottom and it's a perfectly faded gradient, that's definitely had its moment. But I think as a technique, ombre is here to stay. Just like highlights, like in 1999, you guys remember like stripes for highlights? Like you had like crazy like stripy highlights, and in retrospect that was not cute, but highlights have stayed around, and obviously nobody wears them in stripes anymore, or sometimes people do, but generally people don't. But I think ombre is going to do the kind of same thing because it is very natural looking, and I really like how it adds in that dimension. I think it's just going to be, you know, one of those new techniques that sticks around. So that's why I'm not afraid to have it in my hair, but it is also why, you know, it's a little bit more subtle, just because I think that is probably where it's going to end up going. So that's why I wasn't upset when it came out a little bit more subtle than I was anticipating, because I was like, you know what, at the end of the day, that's probably more on trend anyway. It's probably a little better. And I decided to go darker because I've actually wanted to go brunette for about 5 months, and it was kind of like in the back of my mind because I knew I couldn't go any lighter. Like, I'm really pale, I really couldn't go any lighter than I was, because then I would just look like all washed out, like a little ghost or something like that. So I knew if I did anything I would have to go darker, so I was thinking, you know, that would be fun. I would kind of like to do that. And then I did the Style Haul last look shoot where they made me into Spencer from Pretty Little Liars, and they put in like this temporary brown hair dye, so I was brunette and I loved it. And it was so funny because that was actually one of the things that I was a little like weird about, because I was a little afraid that like the dye was going to stay in my hair, because sometimes temporary dye can do that, and I was a little terrified. And so I was actually like kind of annoying about it. Like I was actually kind of scared about getting the brown in my hair, but once I got it in my hair, I loved it. Like I loved how it looked with my skin and my eye color, and I liked that the makeup artist could do like this really dark makeup, and it looked like a smoky eye, but if I wore that with my blonde hair, it would have looked like crazy over the top, like you can't even wear that out kind of thing. So I just really liked it. I liked how it looked with me, and I like that I can do more makeup now, because the thing is, when you have really light hair and really light skin, every little bit of makeup shows up. That's kind of why I decided to get the darker hair, and I definitely wanted to keep the highlights just because I like how it looks, and also because I really need that dimension in my hair for tutorials, because the thing is, if your hair is all flat and like one color, and you try to do like an updo on it, it just doesn't show up as well as if you had highlights. So I definitely knew that I wanted some kind of dimension in my hair, or else my videos were going to kind of fall flat because you wouldn't be able to see as much of what I was doing. So that's why I have what I have now. And I'm still thinking that maybe, it's going to depend because I haven't actually filmed a hair tutorial yet, but if I film tutorials that I feel like it doesn't have enough dimension, then I might get some highlights put in. I'm going to give it a couple of weeks, and if I feel like I still need more dimension in my hair, I'm going to go ahead and put some highlights in, but I'm going to give it a couple weeks just to kind of let my cuticle on my hair heal, and let my hair kind of recover from being colored before I do anything else. So that's kind of where I am right now. I'm really excited about it. I really like it. I hope you guys do too. I know some of you guys won't. Some of you might have already commented and said like, oh my gosh, I missed your old hair. Sad face, sad face, sad face, teary face, exclamation points. I understand, but just breathe. And maybe we can all just adjust, because at first it took me a little while to adjust. Like I said, I really wanted brunette hair, but it was still terrifying to me when I really got it. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so different, and I had to keep like staring at myself in the mirror, and eventually I got to where I was like, okay, I like it, I'm good. But it did take me a little minute to catch on to that. So if it takes you guys a little while too, I understand. But hopefully we can all just be happy about it, and this is the sign for happy. Basically what the stylist did, I wanted a really broken up like ombre highlights basically. I didn't want an ombre, but ombre highlights just like before. And so she went through and painted each section from the bottom to the top, and started out putting my base color on, and then with each section, especially on the bottom, she would paint in an ombre and then do another little section right next to that and do it all the way down just doing the base color, and then do like another section with an ombre. And then as we got through the top, she actually put some of the light pieces through up here, so it was kind of like a little bit of highlights up here as well. So it was very, very time-taking. It took a long time. I don't know what phrase I was trying to say right there. It just took a long time. I think it was worth it. I liked the look. What you could say if you wanted something similar at your stylist is that you want ombre highlights. And then I would definitely bring in a picture. Like if you find a picture of one that you like, then bring that in, and that way your stylist can see exactly how much you're talking, because you might want less highlights than I have, you might want a lot more than I have, and that's really good to kind of have a picture to show your stylist what you're thinking of. Because let me tell you, every time somebody brings a picture in for me when I'm doing hair, it helps me so much, because when people bring or people just start saying things, they can say I want ombre highlights, but they might be saying one thing and thinking one thing, and I might hear something and think something completely different. But you know, communication is just hard, so pictures make it easier. And I'm going to go ahead and put in the description box some pictures that I think are similar to what I have, and you guys can screen cap in here at any point if you wanted to screen cap a picture of my hair and show that to your stylist. That's totally fine as well. And I think that's it. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys on Friday with my next video. Mwah! Bye. I'm ridiculous. Talking videos stress me out. They really do. I don't know why. Okay, there's a bobby pin loose in my hair somewhere. Story of my life. Gosh, I love these waves. I wish I could like right click save as with my hair and then just like paste it every day. Just like wake up and be like push a button and my hair just turns into what I want it to be. Just like that. You like my shirt? I'm like a bumblebee. Like a very fashionable coral bumblebee. I'm gonna stop talking now.